not an easy thing to do. And
Right.
so if we're able to do that and able to speak to our culture, like say for instance, ultimately when it comes to my characters, the women are always dark skinned African American at this point.
Okay.
I have no tendency. I may change their skin tone, but I have no tendency of changing their blackness.
Okay.
And because that's what I want to focus on. That's what I want to see. I grew up reading all kinds of romance, and I've seen enough, and I've read enough of white women getting theirs. I want the sisters to get theirs. And
Okay.
so that's why I write that with determination. And I want to show all those aspects and those of how love can be wonderful, fabulous, how what we experience and how we interact with each other can impede it, make it better, make it worse. So I kind of want to show that. So, for example, in my book, Open to Love, which is the third book in my Brothers-in-Law series, the leading female lead, Miriam, is actually a domestic abuse survivor. So her very first intimate scene with her husband, Adam, some things happen. It's just not a matter of, well, everything is all good. This is a person who's a survivor, and it impacted every aspect of her, including her intimacy. And so there's certain things that she does, and he has to respond certain ways. And because I wanted to show that, after domestic violence, after sexual assault, it does not mean that person is no longer a sexual being. Okay, they can be very much a sexual being. As a matter of fact, they can become over-sexualized. But the partner, the person that they love, and the person that loves them has to navigate through that. They have to navigate through that as a couple. So I just very much wanted to show that. And so we have the opportunity to do that in romance in ways that, not necessarily so in other genres, because that's what we center.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we center.
Yes, yes.
Well, I absolutely love that. And I've been looking at your YouTube channel, and I've watched a couple of your videos. And I do want to just tell you your work to defund the stereotypes in the Muslim culture is a great thing. I think you're doing great work with that. But I watched one of your videos where you were discussing oral sex in the Muslim culture and how it may or may not be haram. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. That was with Habiba Kande. He's an Islamic erotologist, and so he very much focuses on the educational aspect and the scholarship of erotology, so sensuality and healthy sex for Muslims, and more so Muslim women. Like, he's a very strong advocate for Muslim women getting their orgasms. And so in that one, there is, like I said, you have all of these different subcultures. So in many aspects of the Muslim subculture, they see that as something that is egregious and, like you said, haram. The scholarship differs on it, and most Muslim scholars would say that it's not. That it's not. But then there's the cultural aspect of an aversion to it, because that's the way you were brought up, to have this aversion to it. And so you have to kind of, every individual has to kind of explore, and every couple has to explore whether or not that's a deal breaker for them or something like that. In my books, all the men dive. So even the Muslim men.
Yay! That's what I'm talking about.
And it's just like, and that's one of my things for my Brothers-in-Law series especially, is that, in the Brothers-in-Law, there's two things, okay? There were 6 men that met in law school, and it's a diverse group of men. So African-American, Asian-American, European-American. And 2 things, they all drive American cars, okay, and they all enjoy diving. That's what they like. That's their thing. So, they definitely, it's oral sex is something that is explored between Muslim characters and non-Muslim characters in my book. There are all kinds of intimate discourse, including BDSM. I just released Stroke at Midnight, which is my BDSM romance. It was my tiptoe into it, There's other authors that, like, go way into it a lot more than I have. I'm just like, that's another aspect of sensual scenes that you really have to learn and develop your skill and your finesse at doing. And so that was my first venture into it. And I have actually one romance character, one of the brothers in the brothers-in-law series. His name is Faisal. His book is book 5 and 6 because he has 2 wives, and he's very much into BDSM. He got the toy chest and everything, and Dom and everything. So yeah, it's going to be explored in the within the Muslim cultural universe that I have. Some of my Muslim characters use handcuffs. And because in the faith itself, there are certain limits that you set for yourself if you want to obey your Creator, but those are very few. There are very few. There's more sexual liberty within the faith than what Muslims take advantage of a lot of times, unfortunately.
Okay.
I would have got to show that.
So we have a few minutes left. We have about 9 minutes left. So you have to tell us. You mentioned your book for Ramadan, and you already mentioned your brothers-in-law. But tell us specifically what all women will get when they pick up a Lyndell Williams book. What can they expect?
In all of my books, I try to show how it is that we can create and jeopardize how we love each other. I very much love writing an alpha male, and I know that's something that, in border romance itself, it's just like, it's iffy. It depends on, what sphere you're working, like you're looking at of readership. But I know that, I love the fact that that's something that's embraced among a lot of black women romance writers. It's like this whole idea of the alpha male. And I structure my men accordingly. And it could be different forms of alphas. The alpha male could be so different. So, say for instance, like one of my characters is a soft top. So he's very much, mild mannered, quieter, more reserved until he hits that bedroom, and then it's a whole other thing.
Okay, go ahead now. I like it.
Yeah, he's the type that'll make you dinner, listen to you about your day, pour you some wine and everything like that, and then pull out the ropes when you're ready. So,
okay.
Love
you. That.
Yes.
Make a note.
Yeah, so it's just very much, and the women, the one thing that I really try to write when it comes to the women is that I want to show more of African American, black female characters being cherished, being pursued and cherished by the men, their male leads. So it's something where they have got to woo these women. They feel very protective because they love these women so much. They feel very protective, and they feel very protective of guarding not only their physical well-being but their emotional well-being as well. So when they screw up, they try to own it and move and fix it as best as they can,
Okay.
And so I just very much want to show that, and I also want to show just like the different aspects of older love, the age disparity love. The boy next door. That's my Ramadan romance right now. He's very much the boy next door. He's been wanting her since he could remember. And he came back a man from his vacation at his family home in Kuwait, and she wanted him, and the mother was like, nah, I like her, but she's not us.
Oh, that sounds so sexy. I love the everyday heroes from next door, around the way.
My men have to work. I'm sorry, they got to work. Even the richest ones, the richer ones, the ones that have the money, they still working. They still have to hold down a 9 to 5 or whatever, have their own business or something like that. And so, that can often impact, because it's just like, I want to do this right now, but I got to go to work. I got to go take care of this business over here. I'll be back, all right? Just wait a minute, baby. that's so much reality. You know, sometimes you got to hold off that argument. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I'm a Mr. Train. So I guess you got to hold it off and go do the other thing and then come back type of thing. And so, and it also impacts their influence on their surroundings and their environment. So it's just like they have to interact with their communities. Yeah. They're involved with their communities and their coworkers and everything like that. So you see that aspect of manhood, you know, where it's just like you have to be a man. Yeah, you got to love this woman and you got to pursue this woman. And what happens when there's another man that you have to encounter, but you got to do this instead, and how you going to handle all of that? So it's like you see that aspect of it. So I really want to show all of that, and then like the characters kind of do that. So it's just like, you know, I have a whole this is my last series, my last book in the Open to Love series with After Hours publication. It features a character, Baz. He's the crossover character to a new series of bad Muslim boys. So it's like these are men that pray, they pray, they fast, they read Quran, and then they may have to slice someone's throat. It's okay because that's what they got to do.
Okay, all right. I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
And I know, but the thing is, I know men like that. I know Muslim men like that. That's why.
Don't tell us no more, girl. Don't tell us no more, because I don't want to disappear, and neither does Ella Riz. So don't tell us no more. Go on, though. Go on. You got about 20 seconds. You got 20 seconds. I love it. I love it. Lisa, any final comments or questions before Lyndell tells us where to find her online?
Nope, that's it.
Okay,
well, tell us where we'll find your books.
Okay, well, all my books are on Amazon and they're Kindle Unlimited. Yay!
Yay!
And you can find my book. I have a blog. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok, and it's all Layla Writes
You
Love.
are on TikTok.
I am on TikTok. Did you see my latest one?
I haven't seen it today. I haven't been on there today.
No, you got to check out my latest TikTok. It's the two me's when I'm trying to write a scene. It's like, no, we're not going to do that. I don't know. He's kind of hot and he's good at bed. Are you sure you don't want to do it that way?
Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious.
So Layla Writes Love across the board. From my blog, from Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all of it, Pinterest. I have novella ideas, so I put pictures, my inspirational pictures for all of my books on Pinterest. It's all Layla Writes Love.
Okay, wonderful. Now, Lisa mentioned your YouTube channel. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing on YouTube to wrap up.
Okay, it depends on which one she means. Does she mean my author ones or the NBA Muslims one? Well, she said Habiba Kande, so that's the NBA Muslims one. So that is the one where I have the great opportunity to interview authors and people who are impacting change in society. So it could be anti-racism, it could be sexual health. It's all aspects of American Muslim culture that I get to interview people, and I center Black Muslims.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I am so glad that you came on the show tonight. You are such a dynamic woman. I can't wait to dive into your books. I want to read about these Muslim bad boys and this young man with 2 wives. I'm definitely interested in
I didn't say he only had 2. I didn't say he only had 2. I didn't say he only had 2.
All right. Correct me. I'm wrong, y'all. All I know is he's a brother-in-law, right? He's brothers-in-law. He's in that
Brothers-in-law.
series, right?
Yes, that series, Brothers-in-law.
Okay, so we'll have to check that out. I want to thank you so much, Lyndell, for joining us tonight on Women on Words, and I want you to come back and let us know, and our listeners, what you're doing next, because it sounds fabulous.
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to. And as soon as this book and I'll hit you up as soon as the Ramadan Nights book comes out. The Groom. That's the title of it. The Groom.
All right.
And,
all right. Sounds like a plan. Okay, everybody. That's the end of the show. Be awesome. Be amazing.